Chosen one, this message didn't find you by chance. This is divine timing. You were meant to hear this right now. Everything in your life that felt delayed, denied, or disrupted was never meant to break you. It was designed to awaken you. And now, something powerful is happening in the unseen realm. Your ancestors, your spiritual lineage, those who walked before you and carried the weight of generations, they're celebrating, not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. The spirit realm is rejoicing because you broke the curse. You chose healing over hate. You stepped into purpose when you could have stayed stuck in pain. This is deeper than motivation. This is revelation. Let's break it down. Before we dive deep, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this message isn't just content. It's a divine confirmation meant for the chosen ones. If your spirit feels this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That number isn't random. It's a sacred signal, a spiritual code that tells the Most High and the ancestors, I'm awake, I'm aligned, I receive the legacy that's been passed down through me. Not everyone will make it to the end, only the truly chosen. And those who stay will gain clarity, activate ancestral awareness, and unlock the hidden blessings encoded in every word of this message. This isn't just a message, it's a spiritual celebration. Your bloodline in the spirit realm is rejoicing, and this truth will unfold deeper every time you hear it. Rewatch it as many times as your soul leads, because with each listen, you'll catch a new revelation, a divine inheritance you didn't realize was yours. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. You were born to finish what they couldn't. Many in your bloodline had the dreams, but not the resources. They had the passion, but not the peace. They had the vision, but not the voice to speak it aloud. Life forced them into survival mode, where dreams were a luxury and healing was not even a conversation. They carried pain silently, buried potential deeply, and died with songs still in their soul. They didn't lack the desire. They lacked the freedom. They didn't lack purpose. They lacked the platform. And still, they pressed forward, hoping, praying, sowing seeds in soil they would never live to see bloom. And those seeds? Yuhan are the bloom. Yuhan are the manifestation of what they only hoped could exist one day. You are the harvest of their hidden faith. You're the one they whispered about in late-night prayers. The one they dreamed about but couldn't fully imagine. The one who would walk in spaces they were never allowed to enter. You are the torchbearer, the chain breaker, the cycle ender, the chosen one. And you didn't just make it through the storm. You became the calm within it. While others ran from the pain, you faced it. While others stayed trapped in old patterns, you broke free. And in doing so, you've become a living redemption story, not just for yourself, but for your entire bloodline. Chosen one, your very existence is spiritual reparation. You're not just healing your own wounds. You're healing centuries of silence, shame, and suffering. And because of that, the spirit realm sees you. Your ancestors see you. Every time you choose to walk with integrity, every time you choose truth over comfort, every time you step forward with purpose instead of fear, they are rejoicing. You're not alone. Every time you stand tall, you're standing on the shoulders of those who came before you. They didn't have the strength to finish it, but they had the strength to begin it. And you were born to finish what they couldn't. You were born to complete the assignment they started in brokenness and passed on in hope. This is why your life feels so weighty at times. It's because you're carrying more than you can see. You're carrying unfinished dreams, unspoken prayers, untold stories, but you're also carrying divine strength, supernatural clarity, and the full backing of heaven. That's why the spiritual realm is celebrating, because the curse is being broken through you. The promise is being fulfilled through you. So walk boldly, speak freely, love deeply, heal completely, because you are not just one person on a journey. You are the embodiment of 1,000 souls, getting their justice, their joy, and their freedom through you. And this is only the beginning. Chapter 2. They tried to stop you because they knew what you carried. Chosen one, the battles you faced weren't random. The pain, the rejection, the isolation, none of it was by accident. From the moment you entered this world, the enemy saw your light and tried to shut it down. Not because you were weak, but because you were dangerous to darkness. You were born carrying something powerful, something sacred, and they knew it. They tried to confuse you through trauma. They tried to distract you through betrayal. They tried to make you forget who you were by surrounding you with environments that didn't reflect your true identity. But even when you didn't know who you were, the spirit realm did. Heaven did. Your ancestors did. You weren't being rejected. You were being redirected. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden for protection. You were set apart because of what you carry. Not just talent, but divine assignment. Not just ability, but anointing. And because you carry that, your life couldn't be ordinary. You were never meant to blend in. You were built to stand out. That's why the crowd never fit, and the comfort zone always felt suffocating. You were made to walk a path few would understand. Your difference was never a defect. It was your divine distinction. And now it's starting to make sense. Even the people who walked away from you were being used to push you closer to your destiny. The delays, the detours, and even the heartbreaks, none of it was wasted. God was sharpening your discernment. He was strengthening your spirit for battles your ancestors couldn't survive. You were built in silence so you could rise in purpose. And now, the very pain that tried to break you has become proof of your power. You're not just spiritually sensitive, you're spiritually equipped. You've been through more because you were built for more. That's why your path felt heavier. That's why your warfare was intense. Because the level of light you carry required a deeper level of training. What others ran from, you've been called to overcome. And the beautiful part? Every attack only confirmed your calling. Every loss made room for deeper wisdom. Every closed door was a blessing in disguise. You're walking proof that what was meant to destroy you only developed you. You didn't fold. You didn't let the darkness define you. You remembered your light. Now in the spirit realm, your ancestors are rejoicing because you've done what many could not. You chose healing. You chose truth. You chose to rise, even when it was easier to stay broken. They tried to stop you because they saw what you carried, but they couldn't stop what God has already ordained. They couldn't dim a light that was placed in you by the divine. And now that you've remembered who you are, nothing can stop you. Keep rising. Keep walking. You're not just chosen, you're commissioned. And heaven is backing every step you take. Chapter 3. You healed wounds that weren't yours. Chosen one, you cried tears that weren't even born from your own pain. You felt emotions you couldn't explain, carried heaviness that seemed to come from nowhere. But that weight wasn't yours alone. It was inherited, passed down through generations of silence, shame, survival. You carried what your bloodline couldn't, because you were chosen to end what others were too broken to even name. You saw it clearly, the patterns, the cycles, the emotional scars hiding behind tradition and trauma, the anger that never got spoken, the sadness that got swept under the rug, the abuse, the secrets, the pretending. You were the one brave enough to say, "It stops here." Instead of becoming bitter, you became better. Instead of repeating the dysfunction, you chose to confront it. You chose therapy instead of toxicity. You chose awareness instead of avoidance. You chose truth over comfort. And in doing so, you broke spiritual contracts that were holding your entire lineage hostage. You healed what was never even acknowledged. You grieved what your family was too afraid to face. You gave voice to pain that was buried for decades. And the moment you chose healing, the chains started snapping, one by one, both forward and backward through time. Your healing didn't just touch your life, it rippled into your bloodline. You brought light into places where darkness had lived for too long. Your ancestors, those who were silenced, those who suffered in silence, those who prayed but never saw the promise, they see you now. They are watching, weeping, and rejoicing. Because you picked up the pieces they weren't allowed to touch, you did the hard work. You faced the mirror when it would have been easier to break it. You didn't numb it. You felt it. You faced every shadow, every trigger, every scar. You chose to transform instead of transfer that pain onto others. That's why your lineage is shifting. That's why the atmosphere around you feels different. You've become a healer for generations past, present, and future. They're celebrating you in the spirit realm because the curse stopped with you. The silence stopped with you. The shame stopped with you. The patterns of broken love, abandoned dreams, and emotional neglect, they all ended the moment you said yes to your healing. And no, it wasn't fair. You didn't deserve to carry that weight, but you were strong enough to carry it, wise enough to recognize it, brave enough to break it. Every tear you shed cleansed a wound deeper than your own. Every step you took forward cracked the chains of pain wrapped around your family's history. Your courage sent ripples through time, reaching back to ancestors who never had a chance to heal. Because of you, healing is no longer a distant hope. It is a present reality. You have rewritten the story your bloodline told for generations. You have turned pain into purpose. You're not just healing your life. You're restoring your entire bloodline. You're not just chosen. You're anointed to restore what was lost. And because of you, they can finally rest in peace. Chapter 4. You turned pain into power. Chosen one, everything that was meant to break you, you turned into fuel for your rise. Every heartbreak became a lesson in setting boundaries. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment, teaching you who deserves your energy and who doesn't. The silence that once felt like abandonment became the quiet strength you tap into when the world gets loud. Nothing was wasted. Not one tear shed in the dark. Not one loss endured in silence. Not one lonely night spent questioning your worth. You became the alchemist of your own life. You took the heavy, dark emotions that weighed down your ancestors and transmuted them into light. Grief became growth. Pain became purpose. Struggle became strategy. That is no ordinary feat. It is divine craftsmanship in motion. This transformation isn't just personal, it's cosmic. You are a living example of resurrection, a testament to the power of faith, meeting fierce determination. The path you walked was steep and treacherous, yet you climbed higher with every setback. You didn't just survive the storms, you learned to dance in the rain. You discovered that pain is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter, one written by your own hand. You rewrote the narrative of your life, taking control where once you felt powerless. That's rare. That's divine. That's destiny. And because of what you've done, the very fabric of your bloodline is shifting. You're not trapped in old cycles of trauma or defeat. You're breaking free and rewriting the stories that came before you. Your triumphs echo back through generations like thunder, shaking off chains that have held your family captive for centuries. The spirit realm is singing your name. They see your metamorphosis and they celebrate, not just because you rose, but because you soared. This kind of transformation isn't normal. It's supernatural. It's the unmistakable sign of a soul carrying divine purpose. Your pain was never just pain. It was power waiting to be claimed. You carry the legacy of those who couldn't stand, and you honor them by standing taller than ever. Your light now shines brighter, casting out shadows that tried to claim your destiny. This power you wield isn't just for you. It's a beacon for those still trapped in darkness. You are the living proof that even the deepest wounds can be transformed into unshakable strength. Every time you chose courage over comfort, you rewrote your genetic code. Every moment you refused to give up, you honored the silent prayers of ancestors who dreamed of this very day. Your resilience is a gift, not just to yourself, but to the generations yet unborn. You carry within you the fire of 1,000 souls, all cheering you on from the spirit realm. This power is a birthright, a sacred inheritance that no enemy can steal. Keep rising, chosen one. The best is yet to come. Chapter 5. You walk with the weight of legacy. Chosen one, you're not just walking for yourself. Every step you take echoes far beyond your own path. When you enter a room, you carry the hopes, the dreams, the pain, and the triumphs of generations behind you. You don't just represent your name, you represent a healing lineage, a history written in scars, but also in redemption, a story of broken chains and restored honor, a future bursting with hope that you alone were born to fulfill. This legacy is a mantle heavier than most can bear. It's a weight you carry quietly, even when it presses down like 1,000 unseen hands. You may wake some mornings feeling weary, drained, or misunderstood. Like the world doesn't see the battles you've already fought, or the ones you still face. You might wonder if it's fair to hold so much inside you, to be the one chosen to rise when so many before you fell. But that is exactly why you were chosen. To stand in the gaps where others stumbled, to break through barriers that once seemed impenetrable, to rise above the storms that held so many down. Your walk is a sacred one. It's the path of the warrior who moves not with loud proclamations, but with a quiet, unshakable power. You bear the strength of those who came before you, ancestors who endured pain, rejection, betrayal, and yet never gave up hope. Their spirits whisper through your veins, urging you onward when your own strength falters. You are their living legacy, the embodiment of their prayers and sacrifices. The spirit realm watches you. It watches you because it knows you walk with humility, not ego, power, not pride, grace, not gimmicks or showmanship. Your power is real because it is rooted in truth. You honor your lineage by carrying yourself with integrity, by choosing to lead with kindness even when the world seems unkind. You honor them by standing tall, even when it's easier to fall. You honor their struggles by turning your pain into purpose. Legacy is not just about the past. It's about the future you build. Every decision you make ripples forward. shaping the lives of those who come after you. When you speak, you carry the voices of those who were silenced. When you act, you clear the way for those who will follow. This is a responsibility that can feel overwhelming, but it's also a profound blessing, because legacy is eternal. It is a flame passed from hand to hand, from heart to heart. You are chosen to carry this flame, not to let it dim, but to make it shine brighter. Your journey is a sacred dance between the seen and the unseen, between the past's lessons and the future's promise. It is a calling to rise above pain, to rewrite the story, to become the living proof that healing is possible. And as you walk this path, know that you are never alone. The spirit realm cheers for you, and so do those who came before. Your legacy is their victory, and your triumph will inspire generations to come. So when the weight feels unbearable, when doubt creeps in, remember who you are. You are not just a person. You are a movement, a force of nature, a chosen vessel for greatness. The legacy you carry is both your burden and your blessing, and it is the reason you will rise higher than you ever imagined. Chapter 6: Divine Favor is flowing through your lineage. Your obedience has done more than just open doors. It has shattered barriers and broken chains that no man, no enemy, no circumstance can ever shut again. Every step you have taken in faith, every moment you chose to stand strong when all odds were against you, has unlocked a powerful favor that transcends your own life. This favor now flows like a mighty river, reaching beyond the here and now, touching generations yet unborn. The blessings you are receiving today are not isolated to you alone. They are seeds planted deeply into your lineage, into children you haven't even birthed yet, grandchildren yet to come, and a legacy that will flourish for decades and centuries because of the foundation you've laid through your obedience and faithfulness. This is the profound power of obedience. It carries a weight far greater than words can express. It is louder than any curse spoken over your family line, more potent than any dark declaration made in secret. Your alignment with divine will forms an unbreakable shield, stronger than the fiercest attacks from any enemy. Your steadfast consistency, day after day, choice after choice, has become a sacred key. This key turns the lock on blessings that were hidden, ancestral wounds that needed healing, and chains that bound your family for generations. The spirit realm itself is alive with celebration, rejoicing and dancing in victory, because divine favor now flows through your bloodline like a mighty flood, unstoppable and ever-increasing. What was once blocked by generational strongholds is now released with explosive power. What was once cursed is now completely covered and washed clean by the grace of God. What was once broken, shattered by disappointment, pain, or neglect, is now being restored, renewed, and lavishly blessed beyond what you could ever imagine. This flow of favor is not a coincidence or a random blessing. It is the direct result of your faithful obedience to a higher calling. It is because of your perseverance through pain, your refusal to give up when the night was darkest, and your unyielding trust in God's promises that this shift has taken place. You are the gatekeeper of generational destiny, the one who stood in the gap and refused to allow the curses or failures of the past to define the future. You made a way where there seemed to be none, and now doors are swinging wide open for those who will follow in your footsteps. Every act of obedience you have performed has created a ripple effect, an eternal impact that no enemy can reverse. Your legacy is alive and active this very moment. The favor that floods your life is not just for your personal gain or glory. It flows through your veins, lifting up your entire family tree, blessing your ancestors who came before you, and empowering the generations yet to come. Your obedience has caused a seismic spiritual shift, a new season of blessing, favor, and victory that will echo through the ages. Understand this deeply. The favor you now walk in was once blocked, delayed, or hidden, but your faithfulness has unlocked it. The spiritual chains that have held your family captive for years are breaking. Every stronghold that tried to hold back your progress is being dismantled. What was once a silent curse spoken against your name is now drowned out by the sound of heavenly praise. You carry the weight of generations on your shoulders, but you also carry the power of heaven's favor. Your family line is now infused with this divine blessing, and it will be passed down like a sacred heirloom, unchangeable and unstoppable. You are no longer just living for yourself. You are living for your children, your grandchildren, and the generations that will come long after you are gone. So stand firm, chosen one. Do not grow weary or lose heart. Keep walking in alignment with your divine purpose. Your faith is a beacon of hope, a testimony of victory, and a catalyst for generational breakthrough. Your obedience is not in vain. It is creating a pathway of favor that will carry your lineage into unprecedented blessing and prosperity. Your consistency, your trust, your obedience, they have become spiritual keys that unlock mysteries, healing, and abundance not only for your life, but for the lives of all who are connected to you by blood and spirit. Chapter 7. This is just the beginning of a new era. Chosen one, understand this deeply. This moment you stand in right now is not your finish line. Far from it. This is the very foundation, the sacred ground upon which your new life will be built. You are not done. No, this is only the beginning of something far greater than you could have ever imagined. A new era is unfolding, and you are at the forefront, leading the way. You're stepping into rooms and spaces your ancestors once only dreamed about, places where your presence will echo for generations to come. And even though you may walk this path alone in the physical, know that your ancestors walk with you in spirit, their strength and courage flowing through your veins. Their sacrifices were not in vain. They paved the way for your rise. Every step you take carries the weight of their hopes, their prayers, and their unwavering belief in what you could become. You are not empty, you are not lost, you are not alone. Instead, you are equipped with wisdom earned through trials, wrapped in armor, forged by perseverance. You are surrounded by unseen support, divine guidance, cosmic timing, and spiritual allies that move with you, unseen yet undeniable. When doubt whispers in your ear, remember, you are being guided. Every step you take is orchestrated with purpose, even when the path seems unclear. Trust that every challenge you faced was preparing you for this very moment. This is the era where divine alignment meets undeniable action, where the healing you have endured becomes the fertile soil from which your harvest will bloom, where your scars become your stories and your legacy becomes the guiding light for others who will follow in your footsteps. The pain you once carried is now your power, your fuel, your testimony. This era demands not just survival, but thriving, stepping fully into your power and shining your light unapologetically. Your bloodline celebrates in the spirit realm because you said yes. You said yes to the calling that summoned your soul. You said yes to the process, the trials, the solitude, the moments of confusion and breakthrough. You said yes to becoming the bridge between what was and what will be, the link between past sacrifices and future triumphs. Know that every yes you uttered was a seed planted in eternity, destined to bear fruit in ways you cannot yet see. And now, chosen one, it is your time. The time to walk boldly into your destiny, to speak your truth unapologetically, to live with purpose that shakes the very foundations of the world around you. This is your era, a new dawn, a fresh chapter, a sacred beginning. So rise with the strength of those who came before you. Rise with the wisdom earned from every battle. Rise knowing that this is just the beginning. Your journey is far from over, and the best is yet to come. Your legacy starts now.